business has never been better. We are busier now than we've ever been in the history of the company. Hi, my name is Kirk Melton, CEO, Innovative Concert Lighting. Some of the lighting services that we provide are concerts, trade show, keynote speaking, product reveal, and special events. These are just some of the few types of lighting that we provide. And one of the things that we really excel in is the fact that when we go into a trade show, and the most key element that makes our shows go so much smoother than everybody else's, it's paperwork, as basic as that is. But paperwork being very detailed and very refined, making sure that you've got labor calls that are on time, making sure that your trucking shows up on time. Once you get there and you have your stagehands and you have all your components to build your booth, the paperwork is detailed enough where they can understand it and put it together without having to constantly stop and ask questions or wait for a supervisor to come over and say, this is what's to be done next. The detail of the paperwork is everything. If you can draw out something and show, this is where cables go, these are the cables you're to run, this is the type of cable you're running, this is where it starts, this is where it ends, these are the trusses you're following. If you give them the path to lay everything out, it'll make a booth go up 3 times faster than it would if you had somebody saying, okay, grab that cable over there and put it over here. It can make for a very long day and cause you to go over budget on your labor. If you can't keep everything within your budgets, you're losing.
I'm Mike Lehrman. I work for Innovative Concert Lighting Incorporated. I am ICL's production manager. One of the problems that we ran into when we were doing a new product reveal was at Mojave Airport for Global Flyer, which is an aircraft built by Burt Rutan that was to do a non-stop around the world type flight. One of the problems we had is the wingspan is extremely wide, and the hangar that we were doing the reveal in was very narrow also, so you had this very long object in a very long building with no height, but we had to rig the lighting up and get the shots and the lighting produced where you still had the effect of the aircraft. And the concept of this particular one was you were to get the sense of the plane being just above the clouds, flying through the clouds. So there was dry ice smoke underneath the wings, or the whole aircraft, the whole hangar. And with the lighting and the direction that we were going with it, that's what we were trying, the image we were trying to produce. Well, it was very difficult to get that, and it took a very long period of time and rehang and refocus and reprogram to finally get it. And we got the shot, and everything worked well, but the amount of difficulties that we encountered during this event was a pretty big list. And we also are not allowed to touch the aircraft or be in certain areas or do all these other things because the aircraft's a one-of-a-kind piece, and it's certain type of material it's made out of and all this other stuff. And so that was a very big project with a lot of obstacles that we overcame, and still were on time and met everybody's budgets, and the media came in groves, and it went on national television, worldwide media, and everything was fine.
Every year, COM is always a big challenge just because you've got 2.5 million twinkle lights you're putting up. So 2.5 million twinkle lights, start calculating out the amount of wattage per twinkle light equals a lot of power consumption. A lot of power consumption over, again, a 6-acre park means a lot of electrical cabling. So you've got 7 generators to try and run the project that you've got to get electrical cabling to, that have to break down to distribution, that break out into small distribution panels, that break out into small distribution boxes, that have to break out into individual extension cords to go to individual strands of lights. It's huge. Also, the amount of labor it takes to put up 2.5 million twinkle lights takes about 8 weeks, we found out. Challenges as far as trying to figure out which ways to hang lights were a big deal, as far as how many strands do you put on a tree, how many strand links you can connect together before you overload a circuit, which colors to use in what locations, how to run cables. Again, this whole park is open to the public, so making everything safe to walk through, where there's no extension cords on the ground for people to trip over, making smoke come out of animated dragons so you can't see the machines, getting electrical run to those, and setting up displays, getting the park show ready for the opening day. The event went on time and on budget. That again is owed to experience, the ability to put together that much electrical in that short a period of time. That was based on resources we had. At many of the keynote speaking and award events ICL has done over the last several years, production has grown rapidly, from the simplistic person standing behind a podium with one light shining on him to full theatrical production, such as automated lighting, dynamic sound, high-definition video, image magnification, intriguing set pieces, multi-layer staging, and computer graphics like PowerPoint. The industry has changed, and so has ICL. Corporate banquet dinners are a great venue to provide lighting, sound, and video, to do textures on tables, custom gobos, artwork, eye candy, and atmosphere. Give it any themed look you're looking for. With custom gobos that create texture and color, create an atmosphere that's fun and exciting. A client can have the room any color they like, any multicolor they like, any texture they like. Their imagination is the limitation of what we can create.
Good work ethic's a dying thing, and one of the biggest problems we have in our industry is people not being what they seem to be, not being what they've sold you that they are. So yes, I can do everything and I can provide you with all these things, but what happens is they're doing the same thing that other companies do. If they don't have everything in-house, they're sourcing everything. Why not just tell the client they're sourcing everything? And don't put a huge markup on everything when they do source it. Be honest and say, this is what I'm sourcing it for. This is the percentage that we put on all outsourcing. Here you go. This is very cut and dry. It's very simple. And nobody gets upset if they ever find out that, if they ever see a number or find out anything. Nothing has to be hidden. It's all up front. Also the fact that we'll be the first ones if the client's doing a project and a part that's not our entity and things aren't going well, we jump in and we stay till 3 a.m. and we help them put the walls up, vacuum the carpet, clean the countertops, whatever it takes to make the show happen, because we come from the old school theory that it's all about the show, regardless of what the show is. It's a theatrical production, it's a keynote speaking, it's a trade show booth, it's lighting up somebody's backyard. It's all about the show, and it's all about show time. So you have to be ready, you have to be done, and no matter what it takes, you get it done, and that's what we do.